No sports topic is out of bounds. You found the MN Sports Blitz. Along with former Minnesota Vikings linebacker Chad Greenway, here's Joel Niemeyer.
And good day. Welcome back to another MN Scores Blitz. I'm Joel Niemeyer, joined by former Minnesota Viking and former Iowa Hawkeye Chad Greenway. Good day to you, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me on again.
And nice to have you on here. And boy, it was our first program. We talked a lot about the app, and it seems, just for me on the outside looking in, seems like you guys had a really successful first couple of weeks for that app here.
We did, yeah. It was fun because it was we were up against it a little bit just being the first week, and we had all these games coming at us. We had volleyball and football, a big slate, and we had a number of fans download the app. We had a number of folks that were doing fan updates on their own at games, and then we kind of filled in the cracks on some towns and communities that haven't quite gotten to it yet. So it was a great week. I think this week's going to be even better. I think the more obviously interviews, the more word we get out like this is just going to be awesome for us. So, yeah, MN Scores in your app store. Go grab it.
And for those folks, you go take a listen to our last program. It explains how that goes on here. But I would guess we talked a lot about getting people to help you with scores and all that, and how people can do that on our last program. It seems like you're getting a lot, maybe 90%, I would guess, of the results around the state. So you've got a lot of people helping.
We do, yeah. I mean, I think that's the nice part is people understand that there's a benefit here to, I know there's websites out there and URL sites you can go to and get information, but we love that it's on an app that's readily available to the user, and it's been working out really, really well. The live updates, the live stream links built into most of those games, and as word spreads, across the state, those are going to be updated and ready to rock, and you can literally get up-to-date information on every game going on in the state, which is just super fun.
Well, let's talk some sports here, and we'll stay in the high school sports region here. As high school football, it is week number 2 for most schools. Week 3 for those that had a week 0 game like Hutchinson did here. So, when you were playing in high school football, what was your mindset going into a start of a season like this?
Oh man, just excitement. Obviously, so much excitement, and really just a focus through training camp with your buddies on getting on the same page and really kind of trying to work a plan. Coach has a vision for the schedule and for the game and how it's going to go and what he wants you to do. And I was just really trying to focus on that. And obviously, going into my last couple of years, we knew we had a really good football team and a chance to go a long ways and go the distance and really just focus on taking one game at a time, doing my absolute best, and not worried about everything else, just worried about, playing, having a good time, and all the chips would fall where they may.
And in summertime, there's now a lot of camps. Obviously, there's a lot of different things and drills and folks that a lot of things that kids can do to prepare for the season. What did you like to do? How did you want to prepare for your high school seasons?
Yeah, the biggest thing for me was always be in shape. I played, obviously in our 9-man league, I played pretty much every snap of every game as long as it was a tight game. So the biggest thing for me was just cardio, really being able to play quarterback, jump over, be on the punt team, the punt return team, play defense, really just kind of be a jack of all trades. So with that, it was a ton of work in the summer and then through training camp on just staying fit. And then just the biggest thing was execution. I was fortunate enough as a quarterback where the coach would kind of put the ball in my hands and let me make some decisions at the line of scrimmage. And man, was that just so fun to be able to do that and have that kind of control as a high school kid. Just really enjoyed it. How
important is versatility? Being able to, like you said, play quarterback, play punt return team, play defense somewhere, get the water bottles, just to do whatever your team needs to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Is everybody's gonna have a role, right? A high school team, you have what you have in high school. You're not out recruiting players. You're not out doing all that kind of stuff. You're truly just dealing with what you have. And I think the best part about that is you really rely upon everybody having a role and really taking a part and having an excitement in their own role. So do what it takes, get the job done, and the rest will follow where it may.
One, we do want to say best wishes to Waseca head coach Brad Wendlandt. Collapsed on the sidelines last week. I know he has some family locally in the area here, so best of luck and best of all to him. From a player standpoint, now, if you were on the field or if you were on the sidelines, and that kind of a situation came up where the coach kind of collapses and there's a medical situation, how would your mindset be going into the rest of the game and now the rest of the season here?
Yeah, man, is that tough? That's a hard situation, and something that obviously it's a precarious situation individually for the coach and the family involved, but in these small towns, a town like Waseca, I mean, that's family. The whole community is family. The whole team is family, and that affects everybody equally. So I can't imagine what they're going through. That really is a challenge, and obviously wish them very much the best. But yeah, that's a challenging thing when you see family that goes down and have something like that.
Let's move over to the NFL season as Week 1 begins this weekend here. The Vikings get the Cincinnati Bengals. Since you and I last talked of NFL football, that is, at your camp a few weeks ago here, there's been a few changes to the Vikings here. So what do you think of after seeing the preseason? What do you think of the purple now?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how things can change, isn't it? And how rosters can change, and have guys like Everson Griffin jumping on the roster, and I saw Brian O'Neill get a new contract this week, and Harrison Smith gets locked down. Just it's really interesting to see how the NFL takes shape so quickly in this last few weeks of training camp. Really excited for what's coming though. I don't know exactly what this team's going to be like. I think they have a chance to have a really good football team and a chance to do a lot of great things. So I think it's going to be very dependent upon how they stay healthy and if they can stay healthy, which is such a challenging thing in the NFL. So God willing, they stay healthy and have a great season.
You mentioned the defense. To talk about that, because that looks. I mean the defense, I believe, was 29th out of 32 last year, something around there. So it's got to be better than last year. But it does. I mean, there were some injuries last year. There were some different things. There's some new guys this year. What's your take on this year's defense?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think that a lot of the major players are back, and I think a lot of the players that are really integral to this team being good are back. Obviously we have to wait and see on Anthony Barr and see how that's going to take shape with his health. That's obviously a really challenging thing that everybody's going to be paying attention to. But the reality is this is a good football team. I think last year they had a lot of issues and a lot of things go on, and you just want to look back and say, okay, guys, let's stay healthy, let's find a way. And if we do that, then I think we'll have some good luck.
It is the Bengals this week here, and most people think Cincinnati an up-and-coming team, nice young quarterback there. What do you see for the Vikings this week?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, I think, to be honest with you, I think it's a game they have to win. You look at the schedule, you look at how they, everybody's worried about this team and what they look like and how it's going to be, and I really think this is a very important game to start with. So. Why not go down there and get a win in a very tough game? Why not go make the difference? And I think we can do it and get it done. So I like the Vikes going away here.
Next week, since you and I chat every 2 weeks here, we'll preview next week as well here. It is the Arizona Cardinals coming up next Sunday. And it's another good team. Larry Fitzgerald Jr. and all the different local connections there. What do you see as far as that game for the Vikings?
Well, that one's interesting because the quarterback. Obviously, when you have a guy that got out of the pocket and make things happen like he can, it becomes a real challenge for guys to defend. So that'll be a real challenge for them to see. I think a big challenge, and a different kind of challenge we're going to see week 1 from the quarterback standpoint, especially. So excited about that one. I think that's a game they can win. And you leave these first 2 weeks with a split. Maybe you can go 2-0. You feel pretty good about going to week 3 and having a tough game coming home.
You mentioned the record. How important is it? Because you look ahead and there's some tough games coming up here. How important is it to get a good start to the season, win 1 or 2 games here in this first few weeks? Because you got some toughies coming up.
Oh man, I think it's very important. I think it's so important to get off to a fast start. I think it just gets the feeling of this whole thing going the right direction, and everybody would get very excited about what you have going on. So, I think it's very important to go off to a fast start, and I think we will.
Let's go over to college football a little bit before we have to wrap things up here, because the game of the week, at least this coming weekend, I know there's a few other big games around the country, but at least here in the Midwest, it's the Battle of Iowa, the Hawkeyes and the Cyclones. Excited for a big-time matchup here in week 2 for your alma mater? Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a huge game, maybe the biggest Cyhawk game we've had in a long, long time. I think it's a game that, potentially on the horizon is, if this game's going to continue down the road, it could be one of the biggest games they've ever had. So very excited about the game. You never love going into
a rival's stadium and having to play. But the reality is we're going to Ames and got to find a way to get the job done. So needless to say, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And to me, it's a nice job. I mean, Iowa, we knew the Hawkeyes have been good for quite some time here, but Iowa State, has really come on here, and to get two really top quality national championship contending teams out of Iowa, that's a pretty good job for both schools.
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, it's not, obviously Iowa's had their fair share of opportunities to be kind of in the national spotlight and do some things. Iowa State's obviously been coming on really strong these last few years and have done a great job. So it's going to be a great football game. I think they both play actually pretty similar styles. They want to run the football and be physical, play good defense. So that's the part that's going to be really fun to watch is how do things play out.
Gophers had some tough luck with Mo Ibrahim going down with an injury. How tough is that? Because it's not like just NFL. NFL you can go and, okay, this guy's a free agent, this guy's a free agent, let's go sign you, and you got a new running back. Here, who's ever on your roster is going to replace him. So how do you replace a guy as good as Ibrahim?
Well, I don't think you replace a guy like that. Obviously, you know that if Ibrahim was going to be healthy all year, he was going to have a chance to win the Heisman. I mean, that's just reality. He's that good. I do think that they have a good stable of running backs, of young guys that are unproven. I think that's going to give these guys an opportunity to go out and do something really, really fun and exciting. So you got to look at it from a different angle. It's like that's the reality. He's gone. He's out for the year. Let's find a way now, right, with the rest of these guys to go out there and find a way to really make an impact. And I really believe that they can and they will. Having said that, they're young and they got to go find a way to do it. It's not easy, obviously. So you got to kind of take it as it comes. And these young guys have had an opportunity now to go out there and do something pretty cool, I bet.
Gophers have Miami of Ohio and Colorado in consecutive weeks. Certainly not Ohio State's there, but also not Patsy's either. So some good teams to try and adjust on the fly with.
Yeah, you do. And the biggest thing is you come off Ohio State game where you played well and really well enough to win for most of the game, and then just obviously slips away from you. You don't want to have a letdown now. You don't want to have Miami, Ohio, a game that gets out of the way and you lose it and you find a way to, especially with your running back gone and a lot of changes, and you just want to be careful with that and not having a letdown. And I don't think they will, but that's the thing you got to worry about. And then obviously you get a good opponent in the Pac-12 with opponent coming next, and that's always going to be a good game.
Chad Greenway's appearance here on the Blitz, brought to you by MN Scores, the app. Before we go, Chad, let folks know how they can get the Scores app and get all those great high school sports news from their schools.
Yeah, absolutely. Go to any app store that you get your apps. Download MN Scores. It's got a little blue icon. Easy to find and easy to use. You download it for free. You become part of our team. Fan your favorite towns, your favorite teams. We have volleyball and football in the fall. We have basketball and hoops coming this winter, and we'll keep growing as we get people on board. But yeah, go be a fan. Live update scores. If you're a small business owner, you can advertise through our app and get right to the people that are looking at your business. So thanks for jumping on, and thanks for having me again.
Sounds good. We'll check in within a couple weeks there, Chad.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Thank you. This is the MN Scores Blitz.
The MN Sports Blitz has been produced by KDUZ, KARP, KGLB, and the Ingstad, Minnesota Radio Network. Complete episodes are available on our website and on YouTube.